He really makes you think about real issues as well, which is like, I think really, I mean, of course you can have entertainment just for entertainment and you should, but it's nice when the comedians, and I think most of the ones that you showed me, they also do a little bit of that.
I couldn't agree more. I always compare it to Kurt Jester, you know, the guys with those hats with bells or something like that. Hello guys, this is Waldemar.
And this is Weronika, hello.
And we are watching today Louis C.K, of course, but maybe. And, well, I was wondering what kind of stand-up video we could watch next. And I was thinking, and by the way, I would really like some suggestions, because I think with stand-up is like you are aware of certain comedians and you know their routines, but if you don't watch, how can I say that? I don't know where can I get some new comedians to watch for both of us. You know, the ones that I don't watch too. I didn't watch.
Yeah, especially if it's to be your first time reaction and you don't know if it's going to be interesting.
So if you could recommend something to us, then we would really appreciate that. Some different comedians than the ones we already watched. So not George Carlin, not Bill Burr, not this time Ricky Gervais, yeah. So I was wondering what can we watch, and I remembered about Louis C.K, and I was like, Weronika, do you remember Louis C.K? And yeah, you said yes.
I do, yeah.
Because we watched something of his couple of years ago, but I don't really remember what it was. I think it was some routine about his children, about his daughters.
Oh yeah, something about his daughters.
Yeah, but I was like, do you remember watching Of Course But Maybe? And Weronika said no. And yeah, it's possible that I haven't shown it to her. But
it's possible we watched some kind of Netflix special.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it was whole, if we watched full special. I think so, but I don't remember which one it was. It was on Netflix at some point in time. Yeah, but Weronika said that she hasn't seen this one, which is Of Course But Maybe. It's one of the, I think, most famous ones. So today we are watching this one.
The impression that I have of him in my head is that he was funny and I liked it. So we'll see what I think today.
He had some problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I remember all the controversies.
Yeah, he came back after. But yeah, he is quite a controversial figure nowadays.
Oh, David Chappelle, we could also watch if I haven't seen something with him.
Dave
Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle, yeah.
Sorry, Dave.
Oh yeah, we could watch. Yeah, but we watched a lot of his, especially the new specials on Netflix.
Yeah, we watched the new specials, the whole of it, yeah.
So maybe something old, yeah. Alright, so today is Louis C.K, of course, but maybe.
Let's crack on.
Let's begin.
Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully the good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. And I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this thing and then this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe.
That's so accurate.
I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe.
Natural selection?
If touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No.
That's one thing I think I remember from him that I like about him. And I think it's not a thing a comedian necessarily needs to do, and maybe they shouldn't, but it makes me very comfortable because a lot of the times I remember from the controversial jokes as well, he makes you super aware that this is a joke. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I understand why some people could say that comedians shouldn't do it, that it takes away, that like you're an intelligent person watching someone, you know when something is a joke. But for the comfort of my own heart, it makes me.
I understand.
It makes it very.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sharing that opinion, but I understand why you feel that way.
I'm not even saying this is my opinion. It's just a feeling that I have. Maybe I would prefer not to have it, to be honest.
No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault.
It's not like you have a choice, though.
I mean, you have a choice to join the military or not.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. When you do, then, yeah.
Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened.
I love his face here. It's like, oh, I know what I just did.
For dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now. Do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit.
So that was Louis C.K. And yeah, it's one of his best. The way he...
It's hard to get offended.
Yeah, but also the way he engages the audience, you know, like giving them a little something so they are, like he said, in this together with him. So he can drop bombs after that.
And you start getting these thoughts in your head before he even says it. And also with the last one, like, he really makes you think about real issues as well. Yeah. Which is, like, I think really, I mean, of course you can have entertainment just for entertainment, and you should, but it's nice when the comedians, and I think most of the ones that you showed me, they also do a little bit of that. Not in like a preachy way, but they will make you think as well. Yeah. And I think a good stand-up will always do that.
I couldn't agree more. That's what I like in the stand-up comedy, that it's not only jokes, but it's also something to think about.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be always very serious stuff. Sometimes it can be just like a social issue or whatever. But it's good if you come out of it and you have something to think about, right?
Yeah, I always compare it to, I mean, you need to help me with the word, you know, the jester, court jester. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the kings had the court jesters. You know, the guys with those hats with bells or something like that. I mean, they are painted that way on old paintings. But you know that they were the guys who were able to tell the king some sort of criticism
that no one else could get away with.
Yeah, because they could tell it in a funny way, and only because they could tell it in a funny way, the king allowed them to do that. So that was like some kind of a safety ventil, you know, that some of the tension could...
Oh, I love that comparison. That's really smart one.
Yeah, there is this famous painting in Poland by Jan Matejko of one of the most famous jesters called Stańczyk, and I will maybe show you this picture somewhere here. Yeah, and this is about he's sitting in this picture like that. He's wondering how to bring the news. I don't remember exactly the context, but it was about some defeats. I think, of the Polish army.
He's looking quite dejected as well.
And he thinks of a way to sort of present those news to the king. And that's how I always feel that good comedians nowadays should be. Like, they should be funny, but they also should speak about things that it's not easy to speak about when you don't attach this whole humor around it.
Yeah, that's a really good thing. Yeah. It's a really good comparison.
Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this comparison, you could. Yeah, so please, if you have the time and the will, please subscribe. Give us a like. Let us a comment. Give us a comment. There was something else. You can ring the notification bell as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You remember it all. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye.
See you.